Hey,
Hi, Darren.
Lindsay, can you hear me okay?
I can. How are you doing?
Great, and yourself there.
Doing well.
So, so one thing I don't know is how I describe you or introduce you, because to some people, hey, that's the bassist in Cold. Other people, hey, that's an author. Other people, that's an entrepreneur. Other people, well, they played in a bunch of bands. How do you like to be thought of in general?
Um, on honestly, so my name is pronounced Manfredi. That's the first thing. Um, I like to say bassist for Cold and author of Unfuckwithable, a guide to inspired badassery. And then we can talk about entrepreneurship because I'm also co-founder of Girls Rock Indianapolis. And I do it all. I'm going to do it all. My podcast is going to be launching this year, Unfuckwithable. And I'm just going to be doing all the things in between touring, which
Which hopefully happens.
hopefully happens in the fall. Like we're keeping our fingers crossed.
Sure. Was the plan all along to be that kind of diversified and all over the place? And I say all over the place in a good way, because there's a theme and a brand to what you do. But at the same time, it is kind of all over the place. Most creative people are not also business people.
Well, I went to school for communications and business. So I have my college degree on top of everything that I have done. I'm a business person. I like all business aspects of things. But I think that all business is kind of like one of those things where it's can be applied to anything,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's like especially in marketing, whether it's music, whether it's books, whether it's podcasts, whether it's friends, helping to market your friends. It's just all about, I think everything goes down to a good reputation and a good repertoire with people that and always be building those relationships.
Right. I come from a music industry background, having done the management thing, worked at this and that, and you freelance and you consult and you have
Mm-hmm.
6 jobs and all that. And most people that I meet in the music business, whether or not they're still full time, are kind of pessimistic about things because they talk about the old days, back with the big advances and all that. And you obviously have to have a passion for it to still be doing it. You have to love it regardless of the money. When did it become a calling for you where you weren't going to have a normal job and you were going to be in entertainment fully?
I still consider myself having a normal job. I'm working with one of my good friends who's a best-selling author. I'm doing like office work for her in the morning and working on a new book and I'm getting ready to do a song with Matt Noveski from Blue October. And I'm really excited about that. I don't know. I think, okay, so when was this? Probably when I became a body piercer when I turned 18 and started getting tattoos. I knew that I wanted to be in music, so I pursued a career that would give me the freedom to look the way I wanted, to have my own kind of hours, to just live in that kind of lifestyle.
That
However, I didn't go to school until I was 25, but I just decided I'm going to create my own business. So I made my own social media marketing company and went from there. And so people didn't mind that I could be creative behind the scenes and I still had tattoos and still played music and made my own hours. I don't work well for other people. except for my bandmates, but
yeah.
the people I work with now, but like being in a corporate environment or working at I've done all the jobs. I've worked at a McDonald's before. I worked at Walmart, and always wanted something bigger for my life. And now that I didn't give up on music over 20 years, I am starting to see like, it's not, yeah, we don't have huge advances like we did, and it's still a struggle sometimes, but at least I'm getting paid to do what I love. I get paid to go on stage now, and that is brilliant. And we put out an album, so I'm getting money from streaming and, stuff like that. So
Yeah. I
you
almost
kind of have
interrupted
to,
you because
oh, no,
you said something about the tattoo and piercing and appearance thing that reminded me of something I remember reading Travis Barker said, that I guess going back to when he was in the Aquabats before Blink-182, he said one of the reasons he was getting so many tattoos is he felt if he looked like that, he was forcing himself into music and therefore he had to make it. There was no plan B. He was eliminating the plan B.
Mhm.
For you, it sounds in the neighborhood of that, but not entirely.
Yes. Well, not entirely because I still worked for other people, but I was just always hustling to
Yeah.
get there. But for me, getting my arms and tattooed when I was, 18 years old, that was I'm not going to have a plan B. I'm going to be in the entertainment industry. And then I just kept going and going. I moved to Tampa. I had dreadlocks. I fronted a band called Pretty Machine Gun. Back before, there was MP3s. That shit's not even online anywhere. I can't even find it. I do have a copy of that, our little 3-song EP on a CD somewhere in a storage box. But like, that's always what I wanted to do was music ever since I was a little girl. Like I envisioned myself on stage when I was a little girl, whether it was Debbie Gibson or Madonna, then going into like the 90s music. I wanted to be Courtney Love. I had a Fender Venus what she had co-designed with Fender.
Yeah.
That being said, my friend has it and she's like, anytime you want it, I have it for you. I've kept it like over all these years because I'd moved so much and I'd left it at her house. And yeah, my good friend Jamie Hamilton has it. So I will get that back one day.
So some of the past can still be received or retrieved. That's awesome. And writing a book, was it much harder than you thought it would be or about the same amount of work?
I've been wanting to write a book for a long time. I think if you know anything about me, I'm super into meditation and like inspired kind of shit. And I think that it was time. I had just gone through like a shitty breakup and I was kind of all over the board between Indiana and California and trying to figure out like where my place was and in between like doing the album, when we're touring, writing the album. So there was a lot of things happening and I just had so much to say and I was reading so many great books from these amazing authors. And I was like, I have something to contribute.
Mm-hmm.
So I just started writing and I really got the bulk of it done within a month and a half to 2 months. But then it just took like 3 years then of going back and revising and sorting and adding to it, taking away and putting it in an order because the chapters were not it was just all over the board. And when I was sending the book to my friends and my buddy Robbie Slaughter was just like, yeah, this is kind of all over the place. So I just remember getting index cards. And at the time I was back in Temecula and I was staying at Scooters and my entire bed was just like all these index cards of me saying, okay, this chapter needs to go here. I mean, you had to do the work, the work. It was a lot. It was a fucking lot.
I can imagine.
But I'm ready to do it again. I can't wait.
There's more gas in the tank there. A lot of people, they write their first book and then they go, I gave them all the hits. I gave them all the great material. There's nothing else. Not the case with you, Lindsay.
No. I've just cracked the surface. But my next book is going to be dedicated to kids. It's going to be, the middle schoolers and high schoolers. And it's called Don't Be a Dickopotamus. And it's going to be, it's about bullying. So, yeah. But it's a story book. So I've got a story from a bully. I have a story from someone who was bullied. Mm-hmm. I have teacher stories. So it's going to be an easy to read, but teaching kids to not judge and to love. And I'm hoping that it's going to be good coming from, me. I don't know. I think that people will buy it for their kids.
I think it's great to hear. For me, it's great to hear that Cold is very welcoming of its members having life that's not hidden or anonymous outside of being in a band. I say that because a lot of bands, including some of them that you've toured with, you're not allowed to do side projects. You're not allowed to use the same name for that as you would for your civilian life or anything like that. So it seems like a great team that you have there, real friends, not just bandmates.
Yeah, well, everybody has side projects as far as, for me to like guest on a song or write my own music. Nick has Lifer and Scooter has Killer and the Star. Sam has the Cocky Bitches. Johnny plays with everyone. And everybody is very supportive of one another's creative endeavors. But, we all have the same message brand. I mean, we all have the same brand message.
Mm-hmm.
And that is to live our best lives and create amazing music and do things to uplift others. But as an artist, we constantly, especially during this pandemic, we constantly have to reinvent ourselves and do the hustle. And we will always support one another's projects, just like Scooter is doing these handwritten lyric sheets. I do candles for the band. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Teamwork.
I'm very blessed in that. Very blessed in that regard as having the best boss in the world who's so supportive.
Well, you just said the words "do the hustle," and I assume you're not talking about the great disco song that still sounds awesome 50 years later. No, okay.
No,
yeah,
no,
actually,
that's a no. You were assume, yeah.
You never know, because the overlap between disco and metal, if you hear a song by Korn, you might go Ray Luzier is playing disco beats in a metal band, and I don't know if most of the audience kind of realizes that.
I think that everything overlaps. All music overlaps. That's why we have those great mashup videos of the same 4 chords and they go, so many different styles of songs. Those are so much fun to watch.
Amen. I love the Huey Lewis Metallica one recently, if you're talking about genre mashups. But I got 3 quick questions for you, and then you are free for me. And that first question is, who, besides Colt, is your favorite band of all time?
I really want to say, okay. Are we talking old school or new school? Can I say 3? Can I give you 3?
Give me 3.
Okay. Pearl Jam, Smashing Pumpkins, and Manchester Orchestra. Hands down, my favorite bands.
Okay. I did not expect that third one from you on any level.
Oh, I'm obsessed. I've been obsessed with Manchester Orchestra for years and years and years and years.
I was going to predict that it was Radiohead circa 1998 was number 3 for you.
Okay, well, close. No, not close at all. I do love Radiohead. I love, but if we're doing my top 3, I loved Pearl Jam so much that I went to their 20th anniversary in Alpine Valley. I've seen them so many times. Every one of their albums. No Code is my favorite album of theirs. And I love Lightning Bolt, but yeah, it's definitely Manchester Orchestra is my huge love.
Question 2. TV recommendation of the moment. What show can you recommend to somebody who needs a new show to start? And it's okay if the show came out 12 years ago, like Community, which I only discovered 3 months ago.
I'm going to say Better Things. It's on Hulu. It's got the girl from, what's her name? Pamela.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yes, I fucking love her. I feel like in real life, she and I would be best friends. Maybe I can meet her one day. But I feel like she's on par with me.
Yeah. Did you see the episode where they went to the Joe Walsh concert?
I've seen every single episode of Better Things. I need to watch it again. I think that I started watching that maybe in November.
Mm-hmm.
But it was that's all I did. I just sat around and had a super chill month in COVID in LA. And I watched that show all night, until it was done. So I was obsessed for a month. So that's it.
Don't blame you. Interesting show that I believe is coming back. Fingers crossed. So the closer for you.
I hope.
It can be as short or as long as you want, and include as much self-promotion as you want. But Lindsay, any last words for the kids?
Yes. And I said this on a roundtable yesterday, and I've said this in a lot of podcasts. I think that the main 2 things in life to make a person successful comes from Field of Dreams and LL Cool J. So the first one is build it and they will come.
Yeah.
And then with that, you got to doing it well. So build it and they will come, and then do it well, and don't ever give up. You just got to keep on going on all of your projects and make an action list and do it.
Well,
do the hustle.
I see what you did there. Well, the key is you are doing it. So I look forward to everything that's coming from you in the near future, whether it's on the road, it's over the internet, in a recorded form. Just keep it up.
Thanks, Darren, so much. I appreciate you.
My pleasure. Have a great rest of the day.
Okay, you too.
Paltrocast.